there, Lindsay back from Modern Plate Catering, and we're here with our Travel With Us series at the St. Norbert Center Kitchen, and it's our last one. Today is our Mexican-themed dinner, and we have our Tres Leches Cake that we're going to be baking. So let's get that started. So the first thing we need to do is make our cake batter. There are three components to this cake. We have our Tres Leches, our 3 milks, which is condensed milk, evaporated milk, and just regular heavy 3.25% milk, as well as our cake, and then a whipped cream topping. So we're gonna get going on the cake. So first thing, we need to have room temperature butter into our KitchenAid and our sugar. And we're going to cream that until nice and smooth. So about 1 to 2 minutes. You wanna make sure that your butter is at room temperature. Get that nice and combined, and once you won't have it flying out, you can turn it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, get that nice and incorporated together. Creaming the butter, that's what we call it. Okay. So as we mix this, there we go, that's nice and cream there, so just over a minute. And here we have our flour, and I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder added into our dry ingredients. So we have that, and then we'll just stir that up, keep that off to the side. So now our next is we have 5 large eggs. So we're just going to add these in one at a time, and then we'll mix it and incorporate it. And once that's mixed in there, again, 1 more egg. Always be careful, you can turn it off before you add anything in. You do never want to get yourself caught up in the mixing mixer at the top there. Okay, that's there. So nice and easy, 1 more. I know you want to add them all at once, but just trust me and add 1 at a time. And again, once it's incorporated, turn off your mixer, and the last one. Perfect. So now we have our butter, sugar, and eggs into our mixer, and it looks good. And now we simply need to add our dry ingredients, and then we're just going to fold those in and mix them with our spatula because we don't want to overmix our cake batter. We don't want a cake that's really tough. Okay. There we go. Put that in our dirty dish pile. And I'm just going to, sorry about that, move this big part out of the way, and we'll just take our bowl. So we just want to grab our spatula and get our flour and baking powder mixture into here. And again, we do not want to overmix. So we just want to lightly fold in our dry mixture to our wet. So here we have a 9 by 13 inch pan. And we just covered it with a bit of butter, or you can use oil, and then we floured the pan. This is going to help our cake from not sticking. Okay, so again, we just fold this over gently until it's all incorporated. Okay, there we go. You don't want to overmix, but you want to make sure that it's all, the flour is mixed in as well. You don't want any big chunks of flour when you bite into your cake. So that looks good there. Okay, so now what we do is we just want to get this into our pan, and we have our oven preheating right now at 350 Fahrenheit. So we just want to get this right out into there, and then we're going to evenly spread it out. Just a nice simple vanilla cake. Okay, so now what you do is you just make sure you spread this out. There we go. And it's going to rise up. And then we have the other layers as well. So we don't want it taking up the entire height of the pan. Okay, make sure we get it spread as far to the corners as possible. It's going to spread out once it gets in that oven as well. There we are. Okay, so now I'm going to get this in the oven for about 20 minutes. And then we will start on our Tres Leches, the triple milk part of our cake. There we go. So I'm just gonna get that in the oven. You can give it a bang on the countertop. That's gonna help any air bubbles come. And that way you won't have any holes going throughout your cake. Perfect, so we'll get that in the oven. Now that our cake is in the oven, we're going to start on our other two components. First, we're going to get our whipped cream going into our KitchenAid with our sugar. Get that whipped, and then we're going to make our Tres Leches part of the cake. So first, we're going to get this in. Just pour our whipped cream. I guess put that down right there. And you always want to make sure to use a spatula to get every last bit of something, because usually you measure it out, so you want to make sure you get it all. Okay. There we go. There we are. And then we're just going to add our sugar that we measured out as well. And we're going to turn this on low, and we're going to get that going until it's a whipped cream consistency. A little drop of vanilla. There we go. Pure vanilla extract. And we'll just let that go. While your whipped cream is whipping, we're going to get going on the Tres Leches part. So here we have our 3% milk. We have our 1 can of evaporated milk. I know it seems like quite a bit of liquid that's going into this cake, but trust me, it's delicious. It absorbs it and it makes it moist, but it's not too wet. It's delicious. Okay, and here we have our 1 can of condensed milk. There we are. And you always want to make sure you keep an eye on your whipped cream. You do not want to over whip it and make homemade butter, unless that's what you're going for. That'll be a different show. All right, so there we have it, our Tres Leches. There we go. So we pulled our cake out of the oven, and it's cooled. Just on the counter, you just want to have it cooled for about half an hour. Okay, so it's nice and golden brown. Our whipped cream's almost ready, and our Tres Leches is sitting here ready to pour. So all we're going to do is pour this liquid right over the cake. I know it seems like a lot, but just keep on adding. There we go. And you can press little holes right into your cake. Get that in there. There we go. And it's just going to slowly absorb it. You want to make sure the sides are not pressed against. You can kind of help it out down the sides. Okay. Whoop. There we go. Give this a little wet cloth. There we go. And our whipped cream is looking perfect. So, next thing, we have our cake, and it's just going to sit here, and it's just going to absorb for a few minutes. Turn this off, and we're ready to build. Now that your Tres Leches has soaked into the cake, we're going to top it with some whipped cream, and then we're ready to serve it. So, that, and you can see we just got our bowl of whipped cream here, and we're just going to scoop that right onto the top, all of it. And we're going to smooth that over. And the reason we want to keep it in the cake pan instead of turning it out onto another serving dish is because of all the liquid in the cake. It's nice and moist, and we want to keep that in there, and it's at the bottom of the pan, so it just sits there, and so you don't want to turn this cake out. There we go. You can garnish it with some fresh berries if you like, a little fresh mint, whatever you like. There we have it. Give the little sides a wipe. Always make it look pretty for your guests. And there you have it. We have our Tres Leches Cake. So we'll serve us a piece. Okay. There we go. Just cut so smoothly. And we just want to cut it into 12 even pieces here. There we are. And see how it looks. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that delicious moist cake. Okay, there you have it. And like I said, you serve it with whatever fresh berries are in season. And definitely some fresh mint. And there we have it, our Tres Leches Cake. Well, I want to thank you very much for joining us for our Travel With Us series. Here is our last dish of the series, our Mexican-inspired Tres Leches Cake for dessert. Enjoy, and thank you again.